Hello, hello, it's Coyote Christina, surfer, author, dream weaver. We are in week 9 of the Amazed and Amused campaign. It is Thursday, so just a few days here to go. I'm sharing about my second book. I finished the rough draft of my second book on January 1st of this year. And I did a full edit, and then I handed it over to a professional editor. She did a structural edit. Now it's back in my hands, and I'm making a comprehensive structural edit of the book that should be done with here this weekend. I thought I'd be done last weekend, but it needed another read through and some more editing. So get it back to her. So by the end of this year, we'll have a published book. I'm going to shop it to different publishers and agents here at the end of August and into September and October. If no one has picked it up, part of this campaign is to get 20,000 followers on Substack, or at least 2,000, so that a publisher would be like, oh, she's got a decent amount. 20,000 would be good, 2,000. And also to do 500 pre-sales, so to get 500 people to pre-purchase in the pre-sale of Amazed and Amused. So we are in the final stage of our journey. I call it a journey to joy. It's just an ongoing journey where we're bringing ourselves into the present moment with curiosity and seeking connection. And that's why I love animal guides. It connects me with nature, connects me with my inner wisdom, as well as connecting me with others. So we are in the celebration stage, and the second half of the celebration stage, which is the ending of the book, is about the altar. The animal guides that are with us during this stage, or that were with me to support me during the celebration stage, is eagle, buffalo, which we talked about on Tuesday, Totem Tuesday. And today we're going to talk about turkey and raccoon. And it's reclaiming our birthright of joy and finding peace. And once we tap upon and find that peace deep within, then we know it's there, and we can work on those daily practices to go cultivate that peace deep within. So we've made it to the shores of the graces. We've celebrated well into the night and laid all our hopes and fears on the altar to gain entry into the land of the ancients. I'm just gonna read from Amazed and Amused today, first from the intro to the altar section about laying all our hopes and dreams on that altar, and then about turkey and raccoon. So at this point, all possible paths lead to the life of our dreams, and no one can ever take away the knowing we have touched upon deep within and the wonder it ignites. We learn to be guided by a power outside of our awareness that moves beyond our narrow perception of the world. We learn to remain still in the great mystery, to lay our cheek to the earth and know that we belong. We are enough, and the dreams we are meant to chase will present themselves when the time is right, and we must be ready to fly. The indelible flame of life and death burns faithfully on the altar, coaxing us to seek enlightenment. As our consciousness expands, we transcend the self within and begin to act and react on behalf of others. And soon, turkey gobbles its way into the warm light of the fire, calling us to sacrifice our will and the fear it clings to, so we can become an answer to the prayers of many. Ashes of feather and flesh yield to the skeleton of our soul, and the heart of Bodhicitta beats uninterrupted through the ages, calling to be sung into being again, again, and again. We break the silence that chained us to ways of being that kept us caged by social norms embedded with abusive power structures, and raccoon becomes our lookout, guarding our backs and warning us when danger is near. We don the mask of this friendly bandit and embody the warrior spirit of our new generous protector. We use our thoughts, words, and actions to call out the abuse, no longer ignorant to the harm these systems cause, with or without consent or intent. In our transcendent state, we are ready to celebrate, to embrace and embody the joy that is our birthright. We will dance, we will sing, and we will cry for the beauty of the ocean, earth, and sky, for the preciousness of this very moment, and for the rising sun each day. We've come to realize that our world offers lots of little slices of heaven if we pay attention, if we can bring ourselves into the present moment with gratefulness. So here's a little bit about turkey from Amazed and Amused. If we are to transcend the trauma of our ancestry, aka overcome ignorance and circumstance, and claim our rightful residence in the land of the ancients, what is the sacrifice that must be made? If we follow the call from deep within, does sacrifice become a way of life? Can our purpose become a service that aligns with both our passion and the needs of others? When Turkey arrives by your side, you have come to realize that the only sacrifice that can bring freedom is the sacrifice of your will. The control of the ego so desperately clings to when we have fear-based beliefs. The self that believes itself separate from the rest of the world and perpetuates this separateness by acting out of fear and anger. This part of us must be tamed. We work to limit our attachments, to let go of anything that is no longer needed. When we lighten our load and no longer strive to accumulate, we realize that all life is sacred, and we begin to practice the giveaway, working to provide for everyone's needs. Many of us in modern westernized world may be baffled at first, and then intrigued that in some cultures, no one can win the game unless the whole of the people's needs are met. This may seem like an unattainable goal or foolish ideal when our conditioned normal aligns more with the survival of the fittest or he who has the most toys wins mindset. But if we take time to sit with this concept, we begin to see how valuable it is. We find it resonates with our collective soul deep within. When we reach the shores of the graces, we have grown tired of attempting to gobble up everything we can as fast as we can. We slow down and take time to identify what we value most. As we align our thoughts, words, and actions with this newfound truth, Turkey turns up in our life or on our plates, providing whatever it is we need to heal and grow and thrive. When we stop listening to the outside noise and bow in silent reverence, we surrender our minds to our hearts. We lead with generosity, and Turkey medicine breathes gratefulness into our lives. We learn to give with no thought of receiving. We begin to love with no strings attached. The feathers of Turkey keep us balanced on the land while providing the lightness needed to carry us to an abundance mindset. We learn to practice the giveaway by living a heart-centered life. Having sacrificed the things we fear and the things we hold most dear, we no longer live life in fight, flight, or freeze mode. We have learned to find the stillness deep within that is untouched by fear, and we find ways to share our peace with others. We invite all to the table where we learn to place all conceptions and misconceptions of self on the altar and fully embrace the here and now while allowing grace and mercy to fully embrace us. A little bit about turkey medicine, very powerful, kind of basic. I mean, who wants to be a turkey? But now you might want to be a turkey after you hear that. And winding up we end the journey. We end the book Amazed and Amused with Raccoon. It is the beginning and ending point of every journey, joy and pain, sunshine and rain. At one time we gave ourselves away. We became lost to ourselves, lost to the innate power within that pulses through our veins and dwells in every cell of our body. Once we reach the shores of the graces, we no longer give ourselves away, but rather we give up all the ideas and thoughts and feelings that have held us back or held us down. We connect with the wisdom within and reclaim our power that lay dormant in every cell of our body, waiting to be awakened. When Raccoon comes your way, you are being asked to contact your inner warrior to become a protector and generous provider for those in need. When you're able to lead with your heart chakra, your life becomes an expression that upholds the dignity of all living beings. You tap into your warrior spirit, not in anger, but in generosity and with the desire to support others on their journey to joy so that they can join you on the shores of the graces. We learn from Raccoon the universal law of giving back to the source of our strength, guidance, and protection. It is simple medicine, unassuming yet powerful. It is the power of taking small steps each day to build the life of our dreams. We take these steps with no need to reach any certain destination. We take these steps not only to protect our personal rights, but also to protect all human rights. On the shores of the graces and in the land of the ancients, we have not climbed to some mountaintop to claim it as our property. We have descended into the valley and worked to build a new world right here, right now, in community with others. To change the world, start with one step. And when you enter the dark forest, don't forget your mask. Shaka Vibes 1/1/2025. So that was it. That's the end of my manuscript of the rough draft. Those were the last words I wrote, and I said, I finished the rough draft. So I can't wait to hold Amazed and Mused in my hands. I can't wait for you to do the same. Share with others, subscribe, buy on my website, tkcdreams.net. And I'll be back tomorrow, Friday. Is it Friday tomorrow? I think it is. I can't keep track. It'll be Friday, and we'll be talking about chakras again and kind of wrapping up the campaign. All right. Take care.